We're live.
Okay.
What?
Hello, 0
What'd you do
viewers. What?
What'd you do the post
Live,
on?
apparently. Alright.
What'd you do the post on, Nick? Because Instagram still says YouTube.
Alright.
Send the link into general, and I'll do a tweet.
Yeah, we live. We're not.
Yeah.
On fucking YouTube.
we're
Yeah.
just-
We need fucking X Premium now. We need fucking multi-streaming, all this bullshit. Fucking nickel and dime you every corner.
How's a brother supposed to make it if I gotta spend money to make it? Where's our Twitch link, Nick? I gotta follow us on Twitch so I can put us on.
No.
Oh, you're just the worst producer. What's our Twitch handle?
I'm gonna touch him. Basement Banner live.
Alright.
We have 2 viewers, and I'm pretty sure the other it's just you guys.
Hello,
Probably.
you jerk.
Just making sure the chat works.
God damn it.
We have mods and shit, right? Like automatically.
I put the recordings. Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
Alright, well, we can preface this. Fucking Santos wins 3-2. Dude, did you see they tied it up and then they won for us with like in the 92nd minute or something?
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Something fucking crazy. We got away with that.
Man, I'm still on cloud 9 from last night.
What did you do
Alright.
last night?
I guess we might as well just jump in. I mean, there's no point in fucking waiting, I guess. Oh fuck.
What?
I forget the date of this.
What?
I think it's
Canelo?
August. Yeah, so Canelo and Crawford is announced for. It's supposed to be in Allegiant Stadium. I think it is going to end up being. What's that? That is August 13th. So we got August 13th, Canelo Crawford. 2 of the best to ever do it. They're saying it could be the fight of the century, which is fucking crazy.
Just a random side note, by the way. It's tied 3-3 right now. Oilers Panthers.
That's crazy.
Second period.
I'm gonna be getting a couple texts then.
Are you talking shit?
Yeah, I was. Do you know what's crazy about this? Is it's being promoted. Like, obviously, everybody knows Turkey Al Sheikh's promoting it mostly, but it's being promoted by what is said Zuffa Boxing, which was bought out by the UFC a long time ago. So that means Dana White's promoting it, which is crazy. Because that means that's risky, man. Because he's kind of, it's almost like you're getting in bed with a competitor. Like, this is like boxing, UFC have been competitors for the same audience for 20 years since MMA kind of became a thing. So
what?
That's kind of crazy. I mean, it's a bold play by Dana to get into boxing like this. I mean, this is his first promotion, and it could be the biggest fight in I don't even know how long. 25 years, maybe. I mean, actually, I don't know if it'll top Wilder Fury 2 or 3, but it could come close. It actually might, because it's going to be on Netflix. So actually, it might top it in viewership. Which is also something we should cover, because Netflix is
dude. Anything on Netflix is going to get viewership.
Exactly. I mean, at 300 million plus.
You get like the thing with Netflix too is you get like a base viewership no matter what. Just by being on Netflix, you get a base like I don't even know.
Yeah, dude. Riyadh season for boxing is must watch, dude. And then if you get like Netflix, they were saying it might be only 2 to 4 cards a year, but what I was saying is Netflix should just become the home. They should compete with DAZN. I shouldn't say DAZN, it's DAZN. Because DAZN's big in Europe, but it's not like how many people do you know have DAZN besides me?
A lot of
Only
not
you?
A lot, yeah, like only you.
Like they have a good amount of soccer stuff or football,
Yeah.
Huh? What's up?
and then
Nothing.
What's up?
and then they have a lot of boxing. Like it's the home of boxing, but it's big in Europe. So if you want to get the American side, I think Netflix is the way to go. Like Netflix can become like a major player. I mean, they should do it, man. They'll make a killing if they take over like some of the biggest cards and kind of rival DAZN. And they don't even really have to rival DAZN. They can kind of like if it's more
Be their own
American.
thing.
Yeah, if
Netflix
it's
can
more
be
of like
their own entity and it'll still succeed just as well.
literally what they should do is just like if the fights are taking place in Europe, it should be on DAZN. If the fights are taking place in America, put it on fucking Netflix. That's the way I think it should do. They should do it. It makes most sense. Like the most sense. Plus with Turkey Al Sheikh doing all the Riyadh seasons, like UFC's $80 or whatever every single big card. Boxing for the most part has been like $80, $90. Like the prices are ridiculous. And now Turkey Al Sheikh for boxing, he's making them $20. Like
Off streams is free.
yeah, exactly. But like I'm gonna pay $20 for like the legit stream. I'm not paying $80 for like
Yeah, I'd never pay 80, but I'll pay 20.
exactly.
$80. $80. I'm finding the best
20
stream I can find.
$20 a weekend is very reasonable.
Well,
$80
for
a
sure.
weekend is not. Someone did the math, and it's like if you bought every UFC like subscription year round, it was something like you had to spend like $2,000 or something crazy. I'm like, that's
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
insane. If you want to like watch every single fight, like $2,000's too much. And in boxing, I mean, it's not under one umbrella, and there's even more cards. So I don't even want to know. Like if some of these fights are going $80 when it's a big name, who fucking knows how much money you'd have to pay to watch all of them?
You know,
Too
I don't even
much.
want to know.
Too much would be the right answer.
I don't even want to fucking know.
So Zuffa boxing is huge because that's going to be Dana. So he's getting in the boxing now, which he's talked about for a while. But like, I never thought he would do it just because it's a direct. Like, I don't think it needs to be, but it kind of is a direct competitor to UFC and MMA.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like both. I like to watch both. The problem is the cards always overlap, which is a problem. If you don't have a 2 TV setup like us.
Yeah, we always, and sometimes 3. Sometimes
we
2
get-
TV and a laptop. It depends
Yeah,
on depends on the night. Really depends on how we're feeling.
Let's see. June 14th, so we'll get into some of the cards, which is Saturday, same date as the UFL Championship. Kambosos,
Yes,
he'll be defending his belt against Richardson. Richardson Hitchens would be defending his belt against Kambosos. Why is he fighting Kambosos? Well, because Kambosos actually still has, for whatever reason, he still has name recognition. When, to be honest, he probably shouldn't. That's why he's fighting him, because he wants to fight. He's going to try to start. My guess is Richardson Hitchens wins this fight. And because it's a bigger name, he'll have more negotiating room when he wants to start trying to go for unifying some of the belts, which is why. And then the big question is, can he beat Tiafimo? Tiafimo actually lost to Kambosos, but that was like, I don't know. We haven't seen that Kambosos in a while. Kambosos has looked rough, to put it lightly, in the last, I don't even know how long.
I was gonna say it's been a while since that fight. No,
It has. So I think Richardson Hitchens. Is it? I feel like I'm butchering his name. Hold on. I just want to make sure I was right. Richardson.
Richard Simmons.
No.
Oh, my fault. My bad.
Richardson Hitchens. Okay, I had his name right. I thought I was butchering his last name for a second, but it's Richardson Hitchens. I haven't really watched many of his fights. He doesn't really have any big names. He hasn't fought anybody huge. He won against Cepeda, which is a pretty good win. Yeah, there's not many big names. Anybody really reputable? I guess Liam Paro is a solid win. Liam Paro is 25-0, but
Is that really?
It's a light 25-0 to
Yeah.
put it nicely. It's a light 25-0. Yeah, so he wins that fight, and I think then he should go right for one of the other belts, start trying to unify. Same with Teofimo after that huge win. Teofimo had a huge win. I believe it was on the big New York card in Times Square. He beat Arnold Barboza, I believe. He was okay, but yeah, and he looked really good. So Teofimo should have the same idea. So hopefully that would be a big fight. That's a must-watch fight if these two guys end up going at it. For sure. But that card's not that great, so we can move on from that. But that's a title fight happening this Saturday. And we gotta get into the Pac-Man return. Pacquiao hasn't fought since 2021.
A fucking Pac-Man.
Yeah, he hasn't fought since 2021.
I know.
He's getting a title fight against Barrios.
How old is he now?
46.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. He hasn't fought in a while, but I will say this.
Still 46 is getting up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially for a fucking... That's great. Asking a lot from the body of 46 to get in the ring.
That's a lot, man.
You're asking a lot.
Welterweight, right? Yeah. I mean, the good thing is he's not fighting Ennis. Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis would put a fucking clinic on.
Right. Second intermission right now, still 3-3. About to enter the third period. I'm kind of... While you're going on about your stuff, I'm kind of keeping an eye on it on the side.
Yeah. Barrios is a minus 500 favorite. The one thing going for Pacquiao, I would say right now, is he has his old trainer back. His two assistant trainers are back. Even like his whole camp that used to fight with him and used to be in his corner, they're all back. He's the same people, which is definitely a
positive.
It's definitely a positive. It's better than I mean, you can't change something at 46 years old. He's got to go back to what he was good at. He is promising. I mean, he's promising to bring back the old Pacquiao. Can he? Probably not. But
I mean, dude, it's just the physical capabilities. Like, there does get to a point where your body does like actually start to regress, and I don't think he's probably doesn't have the same reaction time or quickness. No shot. There's no chance he still does.
He had a bad. Well, it wasn't a terrible fight against.
Why was he out? Hasn't he fought since 2021? Was he hurt?
No, he just
stepped away.
He was just retired. Yeah. I mean, he's get to come back. He's getting a title fight, so that's probably why. That's probably the only thing that could have got him back is the title fight. Which let's remember, Pacquiao is the only 8-division world champion in boxing history, which is crazy. He had a great win against Keith Thurman back in 2019. Great fight. It was a split decision. Probably shouldn't have been. Glenn Feldman was the one who gave it to Thurman. That's a shit score. That was obviously going in favor of Pacquiao, but should have been unanimous. That was his last good fight. That was back in 2019, though, so he would have been what? 40? Yeah.
2019, yeah.
Just about 40 at least. But if I'm a betting man, he's going to be like plus 300 if Barrios is at minus 500, somewhere in the high 200s. He's worth
a unit.
He's worth a unit, man. I mean, listen, does he have one more in him?
Probably not.
It's not like
it's not impossible. It's not impossible, but it's like
and it's not like Barrios is
the greatest.
Like Barrios lost to Keith Thurman, who Pacquiao beat in 2019. Keith Thurman comes back, beats Barrios in 2022. But the problem is he beat Ugas in 2023.
2019 is now 6 years ago, though. That's 40 years old.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
and
6-year difference.
He beat Ugas, who Pacquiao could not beat. The thing is like he got older, but like how much more does your body break down between 40 and 50?
Depends on what he's doing.
Like I almost want to say it could, like maybe he has like some gas now. Like he has one more. Like he might. Because like at 40 years old, there's no way you can keep up as a champ fighting all the time. 6 years off, I knew, like, from what I hear, he was, he's still in shape. Like, he was still training. I mean, he wasn't doing, training as hard as possible, but he's still in good shape. He's got his old camp back. I can't put my reputation on the line this early into a fucking podcast history and say he's going to win.
That's a bold...
I don't think I could do that to myself. Do I think he could win? Yes. I would say...
Is it
Barrios?
possible?
I would say plus, like, Barrios minus 500, so 5-1 favorite. I would go a little bit lower, make it 4-1, because the problem is you really don't know what you're going to get. And it sounds, from what the camp is saying, now we have a month, a little over a month till this fight, so we got to wait. But the camp's saying he looks good. So we got to wait and see. But that pretty much covers Pacquiao for now. We don't have to talk. We're going to get back to that.
Calf.
The next big one on Netflix is Jake Paul versus Chavez.
Random side note, dude. You ever like wake up in the middle of the night and have like you get like the worst cramp known to man?
Yes.
In the
Like, dude,
middle
I
of
woke
night.
up. I just woke up randomly last night and my leg just felt like my calf just ripped in half and I was just like flopping around like a
Actually-
fish in my bed, dude.
Not my leg, but definitely my arm.
It was like Drew. It was like 2 a.m. and all of a sudden I'm just like, my leg.
Yeah, that's brutal.
It fucking hurts. All right, what about Jake Paul? Scumbag Jake Paul.
Well, he's fighting again this month on the... What did I have down? Did I write the date down? It is the 28th.
I don't know if you wrote the date down.
28th. It will be on... We are looking at a Netflix, which is good. It should be a good
Netflix?
card. So it'll be free. Let me just see. Oh, we do have another title fight on this too. We have...
Who is it?
WBO Cruiser. I'll have to look into it more as we get closer. Gilberto Ramirez, who is 47-1, damn, versus Yanel Ticos, 27-2. How much you want to bet Gilbert Ramirez? The only loss is to Usyk. Let's see. And no, it's actually against Bivol. So this guy's moving up in weight. He's fighting cruiser now. Bivol's not a cruiserweight. What the fuck? That's weird. Whatever. So Jake Paul versus Chavez. We'll just get into the main event for now, and then as we get closer to this fight, the weekend before,
Talk about it more a little bit.
the Thursday before, we'll really get into some of these other fights.
Heavily favored.
Jake Paul is gonna be having fun. Listen, Julio Chavez is, let's see, he's 39. He's a little bit younger than Pacquiao. When was the last time Julio Chavez Jr. cared? 2015, maybe? I mean, he lost to Anderson Silva, which...
And you said he's 39?
Yeah.
And that was like 14 years ago, so last time he cared was when he was 25 years old, essentially. Yeah.
He lost to Anderson Silva, if you guys don't know who he is, one of the best, possibly the best UFC fighter that ever lived. Kind of let his career go on the downslope because he kept wanting to fight. After the UFC cut him, decided to go to boxing. Anderson's fought guys like Jake, who he lost to. He's fought Tito Ortiz, another UFC / what was the Japanese group that was fucking ran by the mob? The Yakuza. I forget the name of the fucking organization, but Tito was on that. He beat Julio Chavez. KO'd one guy, Jesus. So yeah, Anderson Silva just fights for a paycheck, but I mean he still fights hard. But Chavez hasn't cared since 2015. He did beat Uriah Hall, who, if you don't know who Uriah Hall is, he used to be in the UFC. He was that dude. If you ever watched the Ultimate Fighter, he's the guy who did the spinning back fist and made that guy literally like have a fucking seizure on the fucking TV show, and it was hard to watch. Watch it if you haven't seen it and you like watching knockouts. It was brutal. Spinning. Did I say spinning back fist or it was a spinning back kick?
You said spinning back fist.
All right, spinning back kick. Yes.
Spinning back fist.
Spinning back fists weren't really
Sounds like an anime move.
Back then, people really didn't use those in the UFC yet. So dangerous. A couple guys, I saw a knockout with one double spinning back fist. It was a guy with one eye. Forget his name now for some reason. That was insane though. Too many names to keep track of, to be honest. So that's gonna pretty much do it for boxing. We don't have too much to talk about.
I don't think so. Not until next Thursday, I'd say. That's when we'll really talk about it more.
Just for recap, Canelo Crawford announced. Could be the fight of the century. I'm iffy on that. I'm not sure how much. They're both getting older, but they're both still amazing. Zuffa Boxing, owned by Dana, is promoting it, along with Turkey Al Sheikh. So Dana is getting the boxing officially. Probably going to be at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. That's at least where it's supposed to happen for now. We talked about how Netflix should help take over boxing. And let's see, Riyadh season must watch. Kambosos is going to fucking lose again because he's a fraud.
The Pacquiao return.
Big Pac-Man return. We'll see how that goes. And then Jake Paul Chavez, which looks like a great card. Even if you don't like Jake, the card looks like it's at least watchable. We will talk about later Serrano Taylor. I think this is the third iteration of that. Let me just double check. These are great fights for women. A lot of people don't like watching women's boxing. Well, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor have been fucking amazing. Yes, so Amanda Serrano lost to Katie Taylor back in 2022, then lost again by a controversial in 2024. Now they're fighting for a third time. So we'll see. And hey, if Serrano wins this one, I bet they run it back a fourth. And if they run it back a fourth, they might run it back a fifth. Because this is like the biggest woman fights ever. They're making a shit ton of money with Jake Paul's MVP group. Which, say what you want about Jake Paul. He's done a great job with women's boxing MVP group. Shakur versus Zepeda, which is coming up around early July, I believe. We'll talk about that later. It's not a huge fight, but we will get into it. Shakur should win. And then Usyk Dubois for a heavyweight undisputed. That is Dubois with amazing knockout on Anthony Joshua. What a fight that was, and what an atmosphere at Wembley Stadium. One of the best fights I've ever watched. One of the most entertaining fights, I should say. I'm going to make you watch that, Brady, after this. What do we got? Yes.
That was really it. I think it's UFC.
Yes. So we're good on that. So I believe it's July will be that, which is awesome. UFC Fight Night, which is UFC Atlanta this weekend. I'm not going to talk about too much. I didn't really get to do enough research. It looks like a half decent card. It is a stadium, so it's not at the Las Vegas UFC spot that they usually do the fight nights. It is like in a arena, but it's not it's still going to be free with ESPN Plus if they're still with the ESPN Plus at this point in time, which I believe they are at least.
Love that. So
it's still, it's going to be a good atmosphere. It's not 317 that's coming up in 2 weeks, I believe. You got Usman returning, who is 39, if I am right. Let's just look that up real quick. 38. And if you don't, Usman was a champion in welterweight for a minute. He got knocked out, which was a great fight. He was up like 4 rounds, and he got knocked out by who's the kickboxer? Now I gotta look at the so many names. Leon Edwards. Then lost to Leon Edwards again by decision. That head kick, though, that first fight was unbelievable. because I thought there's no way. Then he lost to Kamzat, which he wasn't going to win that. That was all the way back in 2023. What does Usman have to prove by coming back? Honestly, nothing. He's already kind of a legend. Like, is anybody going to put Usman in the top 10? Probably not. But he's definitely up there. He's a champ. His career's been made. I really don't know why, if he's just there for the money or if he wants to prove that he can still hang with the younger guys, or I really don't know. And Buckley's a good wrestler. He gets a lot of knockouts. I think Buckley's going to win. Buckley's minus 225 favorite. I think it could go up to 4. If you're a guy who has a high bankroll, I would dump 1,000 on that right now. Please gamble responsibly. If you have 1,000 to give.
You know,
that's not that's not an emergency fund. 1,000. That's a ice cream money. 1,000.
We're not telling you to go into credit card debt.
Yes,
for this,
but I would be shocked.
But hypothetically, if you were, odds are decent.
That's terrible. Yeah, I don't think Usman can fucking win. I just don't see it. I guarantee that's going to keep going up and up as Saturday nears and the fight starts near and how much money's going on him. Can Buckley get a title shot with the win? The current champ is Jack Maddalena. Am I saying that right? Who had a great fight, unbelievable fight. Jack Della Maddalena. I was like, his name's a fucking problem. What a fight he had against Bilal Muhammad, who everybody thought he was like a plus 300 underdog, I believe, and he pulled that off, which was amazing by him. And he looks great. But will Buckley get the title shot with the win? I don't think so, because it's not Usman. People aren't really high on Usman. I guess it depends if Dana is, and Dana's kind of inner circle who decides this kind of stuff. But Shavkat had the nod earlier, so I believe he should get it. I think most people will be happier if he gets it. But would I be mad if Buckley gets the title shot? No. I think he's also deserving. But Shavkat, really, who's ranked 3rd, Buckley ranked 4th. Does he jump up even a placing? Probably not. I doubt it. Because again, Usman is the only reason why Usman's fighting Buckley is because he has a name, so it's going to get more people in the seats. That's why he's there. All right. Any updates on the Oilers Panthers? Still 3-3?
I believe so. Don't quote me. Intermission hasn't even stopped yet. 2 minutes 11 seconds.
Three goals in the first period for Florida. 3 goals in the second period for Oilers. So who fucking knows how that game's going?
We're probably close to wrapping up when we're done talking about golf.
Yeah, I said Panthers.
You probably tune in at the end.
I said Panthers in 5, so I need them to win because.
Like I said, depending on what time it takes us to finish this golf situation, we could live bet the Panthers and do a live sweat if you want to do that.
Yeah, I did mention Santos one. I was gonna say, yep. So if anybody,
you mentioned Santos one first. So yeah, I mean Nick is 1-1. Look at that, Nick. Yeah. Got back to 500.
All right, let's dive into golf.
Yep.
JJ Spawn leads at -4 after the first day. Listen, there's a lot of Thursday warriors in golf who come out, get a league, and then they just never hold it. It just never happens. So
weekend will tell a tale.
-4s are very impressive. I mean, listen, if he went even par the rest of the way, I think you could win, because I think the winning score is going to be somewhere around -2. Because I think almost every great player who has a chance is going to have over par rounds and they're going to have under par rounds, and it's going to come down to Sunday, who has the under par -3 round, and it's the winning score might be -2, -3. I believe it might rain coming up this weekend on him, which makes it even fucking harder. So none of the big names are on that leaderboard. We have DeChambeau and Scotty at +3, which +3 is not going to kill him. I mean, that's
also just Thursday.
It's only Thursday. It's a pretty good spot to be. If like one of them even shoots even par, they're tied for 49th right now. If you're still +3 by the end of Friday, you probably get that. Probably bumps you up at 20 spots. You're probably in plus tied for 30th. If you even just shoot even par, and if you shoot even par all the way to the end, +3, it might be top 10. It's gonna be close to top 10, I would imagine. So, I mean, I don't think either of those guys are gonna shoot just even par. I think they're both gonna kind of fight. Like a 1 under par round is huge. If you get the +2, and then you just shoot 1 under par, 1 under par, who knows what's gonna happen?
Tomorrow will be an interesting day. Tomorrow will be telling.
A lot of people were hoping, because we've kind of had the Scotty for PGA, kind of leading the PGA group, DeChambeau leaving the Live group. A lot of people wanted Rory and Scotty storylines to come out after Rory finally won the Grand Slam. Which a lot of people thought after that's going to take a weight off his shoulder, and that he finally won the Masters. Took him 10 years since his last major victory. And if you don't remember, Rory back then was supposed to be the next Tiger. One of the best players to ever play, but he's not. He never even got close, to be honest. He complained. He has been complaining about lack of motivation. He hit the range. If you see his last couple finished +3 at PGA, which I think he was favored at because he loves Quail Hollow, which is crazy. So not a good score for him. Wasn't even close. And then last tournament at the RBC Canadian Open, he got cut. He didn't even make the cut. So he went home empty-handed. So clearly he's right. He's not lying. So you can't call him a liar. He's pretty obviously not motivated. +4 is not a terrible score, though. So he actually shot okay today. +4 is not killer for a first round. At this tournament, if it was any other major, it would be he's done. But for this specific tournament, not bad. Not good, but not going to kill him if he decides to actually pick it up. The greens are running at 16 speed.
That's
which
fucking
is like
insane, dude.
If you blow on the ball, it's gonna fucking roll off the green, which is crazy. Everybody talks about how the Masters have really tough greens. No, they don't have greens like this. This is ridiculous. If you they put it this way, I'm not a good golfer. I'm okay at best. I can't put a lot of spin on the ball. If you need to have the ball have the perfect amount of spin where it just hits the green and sits. If your ball hits the green and bounces, it's rolling off. If it hits the green and spins too much, it's rolling off. I mean, these guys are going to struggle, and they don't have a first cut in the rough, so go straight fairway the rough in this tournament, which sucks. I would shoot 200 if I played 18. I don't even know if I made. There'd be a lot of do not finish holes, probably a few broken irons.
A few broken irons, a lost putter.
Yeah,
25 lost balls and 15 drinks after raging through half these holes.
So the thing is, they have 5-inch rough, which isn't that's hard, but a lot of courses have that. But the thing that's different is they got lawn mowers. If you guys didn't know, there's push mowers where if you've seen the videos, they have 80 guys fucking walking around with push mowers and shit. They found push mowers that don't make it go into the grain. What that means is when it cuts the grass stands straight up instead of going the way you're mowing, or if you're going the mower this way, the grass is going to go that way. It's going to have it so you can hit a shot into the grain. And when you're into the grain, you can hit different kinds of shots. When you're into the grain or against the grain, that's going to change how you chip the ball or your approach shot if you don't hit the fairway. The problem is it's just standing straight up. So it's different kind of rough. So a lot of guys are trying to hit flop shots so they don't just roll off the green because you can't really bump and run it on 16 speed green. It's almost impossible. So
yeah, you could do it.
If you watch, you're going to see a lot of guys who are going to try to hit flop shots and literally hit the club under the ball, and the ball is not going to move. They're going to slice through the grass under the ball, and they're not even going to hit the ball. It's going to be so tough they hit that. Some of those flop shots.
If it's raining too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about the rain because the rain's going to slow down the greens. I don't know how much rain would slow down 16 speed greens.
How much rain are they going to get though? Because if it depends on how heavy it is, if it's a light rain, like it depends on how much it accumulates.
Yeah, let's see. I'm looking it up. Let's see. So this is 40% chance of rain in the morning for Friday. So let's check out Oakmont Country Club. Oakmont is obviously a lot of pros do not like this, by the way. A lot of them complain.
What, Oakmont?
It's just so hard that they complain, bitch, and moan. Give me a break. This is awesome. If you watch the PGA Live, dude, some guys are winning. Scotty won a tournament or something. Minus 30 through like 3 rounds or 4 rounds. Minus 30. That's insanity. You never this makes them look human. This kind of course makes them look human. I mean, you know, how many times does Scotty shoot +3 ever? In a round. I mean, he's literally pushing Tiger numbers at this point. By the way, if you look at his win percentages and the stats he's putting up, obviously, yes, I get a lot of people are like, oh, well, half the player base is in Live. I get that, but he's putting up Tiger. Nobody ever thought we'd see Tiger numbers. A lot of people don't think we'll ever see a guy get 10 double-digit major wins. Well, Scotty might. A lot of people.
How many does he have?
Scotty is at.
How many does it? Is he at?
The Masters in 2022, 24, and then he just won the PGA in 2025. So he's won 3, and he has a long way to go. And he's gonna have a long way. Age doesn't matter too much for golf, but if I think he's 28, so he's got like golf standards. He's got another solid, really good years, top of his game. Probably 8 years, barring any injuries. 8 to 10. Depending on how well he takes care of himself. A lot of people are worried about because he's such a big family man. He's very religious.
Might walk away early.
He has a 1-year-old kid. So once the kid gets to, age where they start playing sports and getting what he's going to want to be involved. A lot of people worry about that because he's such a family man. That's going to happen probably. Don't knock the guy for being a family.
I was gonna say, don't shit on the guy for wanting to go with his family.
Jack Nicklaus actually had the same problem. Jack Nicklaus, some people think he's better than Tiger. Canada Dry. He would run sometimes after rounds to go watch
Canada Dry.
Yeah, he would run after rounds to sometimes watch his kids play sports after like a tournament.
What flavor?
Peach mango.
Ooh.
It's okay. Let's see.
It's not bubbly. Why aren't you drinking your bubbly?
Yeah. So Friday, 40%, 45% chance now. Saturday is 75. Dang. And Sunday's also 75. So, yeah, I mean, at least one day you're going to see some rain. That's going to slow the greens down a little bit. It's going to change. Winds only 6, 4, and 6. So wind shouldn't be not too much of a factor. More about the rain changing how you're going to shoot. We'll have to see how that changes. Tiger said that this golf course is going to favor longer players, but the problem is like you have the ultimate guy, long players, DeChambeau, but DeChambeau struggles with his yardages. You almost have to hit a perfect, like if you need 60 yards, you got to hit it 60. You got to hit right where you're trying to hit. DeChambeau can struggle if he's trying to hit a 60. You might hit it 65, 58. It doesn't sound like a lot, but in these tournaments, that's the difference between a birdie and par, or realistically, this course, a par or a bogey sometimes. So
I still believe in.
I still like the +10 bet.
I still think he'd scratch top 10. I don't think +3 does not take him out of it, especially just on a Thursday. There's still a lot of golf left, and
Exactly. If you haven't got in on our bets, if you maybe missed out on the parlay, I would throw it in now.
missed out on Santos.
You're probably
Santos
gonna
is a big one.
huge
Nick?
huge bet by Nick.
Hold
Nick
on.
is the highest ROI on any of us.
I know. No. Oh yeah,
I'm
he
in the
is because
middle
it's
of
plus
something,
270.
Ron.
Yeah, he's gonna have the highest ROI out of any of us. You might be tied with him if you hit this though. It would be close as a return on investment.
It'd be close, but my bet still would have been 2-0.
I think I can't see DeChambeau falling out of the top 20. So
Okay.
we're gonna be Sunday.
It's gonna be Sunday. Might be a sweat.
It's gonna be a sweat.
Sunday's gonna be a sweat.
I'm hoping he's gonna be right in that mix.
All right, Panthers still tied up. 13 minutes left.
Yep. So Panthers tied up. Brady, why don't you can give a quick recap? We are obviously we're keeping the finals mostly to the main
podcast, main episodes.
So
but at the time we're recording the podcast, recording the podcast next week, the episode, the game 4 will have already happened or be happening. But quick recap of game 3. The Benedict Mathurin masterclass, 27 points in 22 minutes. Came off the bench, elite. He actually, if there was a statistic, he shot like 92%, I think it was, on all of OKC's primary defenders, and it was like Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, and Shea. Insane. Miles Turner locking up Chet Holmgren in the last 2 possessions of the game. And, Drew, the Halle man, that Tyrese fucking Halliburton, they are 14-0.
He's a good problem. He's a problem.
They are 14-0 when Tyrese Halliburton has 20 points and 10 assists. 14-0. Maybe if he shot more, but that's just a topic for a different day. TJ McConnell coming off the bench, explosive. The second TJ McConnell got off the bench and came out of the court, it was literally a game changer. He set a completely different tone. He was so explosive. He had like 4 steals. It was beautiful. That was a great game to watch too. It was a great back and forth match until the end. It was a beautiful game.
Yep. It really was. I was watching it while I was at the gym.
We'll get more in depth on it on Monday.
Yep. We're going to have way more coverage, which is... Actually, let's double check. So, game 4 is what? Tomorrow?
Monday.
Or Sunday?
Oh, no. Game 4 is tomorrow. And then, Friday.
Okay. That's tough.
That's really tough, actually. Just now realizing.
I thought that was on Saturday.
No, there's no games this weekend.
That's tough.
It's fine.
We'll have to have it up on a second screen.
We're gonna have to, yeah.
Game 5.
That is Monday.
Panthers Oilers will be Saturday, which is huge.
Okay.
So Saturday, game 5, going back to Edmonton. It's either going to be 2-2 or it's going to be 3-1.
We'll know soon.
To be honest,
hey, what do you think? Real quick, Drew. Before we talk about it, live bet the Panthers. Let me look at the line. Still tied.
I imagine the Panthers are going to be a little favorite just because they're home. We'll have to see. But I would imagine the Oilers probably have momentum. I've not been watching the game, though, so you never know. Let's see the line.
Panthers are -120, and the Oilers are -110.
Yeah, I like that bet. To be honest, the under 7.5 is a really good bet, too.
It just got locked.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm scared to see has something happened.
I'm going to check.
I'm watching the game right now. So for what everybody should be watching, UFL Championship, we have Michigan Panthers -3. Tune into that, 8 p.m. kickoff Eastern time, I believe. Should be a great game.
Pacers Thunder tomorrow.
Scratch your football itch. Get that out of the way. Because the NFL's coming, but I know everybody's got that itch for football. You get a championship game.
Drew, all of a sudden the Panthers are +105.
Yeah, so no goal happened though. Then that might be maybe a penalty.
It is.
I mean, if a goal happened, that'd be like +250.
No, it's not. It's not a goal. It's a penalty. I might take him +105.
Yeah, I just watched it.
You want to take him?
Yeah, fuck it. There is a PFL World thing going on right now. We didn't cover that. I didn't have enough time to do enough research on PFL, which hopefully in the future I can do. Like I said, you heard me butchering names. I mean, there's so many UFC guys, so many UFC stories. We're covering a lot of sports here, trying to keep up. So I'll try to cover some big fights in the PFL. I'm more focused on UFC for MMA though. Golf, watch it. It's going to be on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be on until Sunday. Watch it. You know, you only get to watch these guys struggle so many times. Jake Paul card.
Next thing you know, they're gonna be shooting -30 again.
You got the Jake Paul card coming up in about 2 weeks. You got the pack. July is going to be a huge month for boxing. There's a great card almost every weekend, seemingly. And then we got till August till we get Canelo Crawford, but that'll come as well. And yep. So if you're more,
I think that about covers it.
Yep, that should be good right there. Go, maybe you're watching the Panthers right now. Finish up watching that. Watch Pacers tomorrow. We'll be back. We'll be recording Monday. Podcast will be out Wednesday. Which actually, hopefully,
I mean, how much time's left in the Panthers game?
Just 10 minutes, right? Just about 12 minutes.
I was
NBA plays on Monday, so we'll be
live sweat out this fucking bet right now.
It actually kind of works out. I mean, unless if the Pacers win the next 2 games, with game 4 or 5,
that's very unlikely, in my opinion.
6. So game 6 will be Thursday. So we'll have a podcast during game 5 going into game 6, which is that's really good timing for us. At least we get good timing on that.
Which will probably about halfway through the podcast, unless you want to start the podcast when the game starts. But we'll get there. We'll get to that scheduling eventually.
Game 4 right now. Game 5. And
looking at the Twitch overlay, and I like it, Nick. It's good. Nick, you there?
Hello?
We're good.
Okay.
All
Can you hear
set.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
All set.
Yeah. Like, you guys are done talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can edit.
Oh, okay. Well, no outro?
They don't need it. It's
They don't
live.
need it.
Yeah, fuck them.
They'll live.
And that bitch.